When you listen to what Fred is saying, and of course what we had Kalonzo Musyoka say, I mean, what was this negotiation like? Because for so many weeks we've had Kalonzo Musyoka saying that it's undisputed that he is the proper running mate. And of course, you know, that Raila Odinga said he had put in place a panel that was going through this process. Then yesterday we see two parallel unveilings of a running mate. What does this mean?
Well, first of all, if I can just react a little to what Fred was saying, it was not easy to follow the logic of how somebody can support another and yet they have unveiled a separate presidential candidature. But I think, because at KICC yesterday, Nick Salat, the Secretary General of KANU, did endorse Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya, and said, just like Fred, that KANU is firmly into Azimio. So perhaps Honorable Gideon Moi has been going forth, you know, to and fro, trying to still prevail upon Kalonzo, not to take the decision that he did, because otherwise one can't understand that kind of move that he made. And of course, for Azimio, still Kalonzo was offered the third most powerful position within Azimio, and as well as other considerations.
Which ones?
Like being centrally part of the government, so that he would be able to share in that, and so.
The position I had, the candidate, Raila Odinga, says Chief Minister. What other considerations are you referring to?
You know, when in the protracted discussions that the President, Honorable Raila Odinga and Kalonzo had previously, there were discussions about how the government would be formed, and more critically, what kind of development was also going to be available to, you know, the various regions of the country. And Raila, in good faith, did appoint Kalonzo to be the third, you know, powerful member of his government to be. So that tells me that if one goes to stand on their own, and obviously the best that they can do is be number three, I don't know whether the idea is to force a runoff, or the idea is to go for 1 week to think about everything and then make a decision about whether to be still in Azimio or even UDA. But I think it's very critical that Kalonzo makes a decision so that is in one of the two main formations.
So in your view, is this the final decision that Kalonzo Musyoka has made in this election?
I worked with Kalonzo Musyoka in Wiper. There was a time that I'd been asked to support them with Raila Odinga in NASA. And I left Muungano for a while. I was, if you will, on loan to Wiper. And sometimes, you know, one can make a decision and then the following day one makes a different decision from the first. And so as somebody who is working with them, you have to keep on catching up. So I really hope that this is not the final decision, and that if one takes their mind back to 2007-8, you know, if Kalonzo had joined Kibaki or Raila, so that there was a definite win for either side, then probably we would not have gotten involved in the ethnic violence that proceeded. So I think this is time really to make a firm decision one way or the other, because even if there was a runoff, let us even assume the possibility of a runoff. In either side, Kalonzo will not be made a deputy president, because the constitution now, unlike before, has a fixed deputy president. So, and if in one formation, Azimio, there's been this consideration of a very senior position, he can't be chief minister in UDA, because Musalia already, is sitting pretty on that position. So, I think those young people who are advising Kalonzo, Mutula Jr., Maanzo, Kiyo, those gentlemen, I think they need to do better in terms of advising their principal.
Okay.